the VLA, as well as the private club, and now president of Bio, all right, the biggest impact organization, which I'll get ready to explain here shortly. But it's definitely a big deal. So there's definitely a lot to cover in this particular presidential address. And because there's a lot of information I'm going to cover, I'm going to go kind of fast. The advantage of that is this is going to go on YouTube, so you'll have the opportunity to go back, rewind over and over again as much as you need to. But I'm going to cover a lot of information, and I'm going to try to do it in less than an hour. But there's a lot. So real quick, just kind of give y'all a quick agenda before I share my screen. I'm going to explain to y'all, number one, what Bio is, how it came about, why it came about. I'm going to share with you all our brand new LLC, right? And just kind of explain the broad picture of the direction we're heading with our LLC. I'm going to give y'all some reminders about just some do's and don'ts as we go into season 2. I'll orient you to the new versions of our Discord server. As I'm sure y'all have noticed by now, there's been a lot of maintenance to our Discord servers lately. I'll explain all of that. I'll orient you to our websites, to the official YouTube channel if you haven't seen it yet. And then last but not least, I'm going to save that part for last, the bio regulations, right? The rules and the regulations. The reason I'm saving that for last is that's going to take the longest. I already know it is. That's going to take the absolute longest, but it's important because there's going to be a lot of people who try to break rules or who do break rules, and then they're going to say, oh, I didn't know, right? You're not going to get the opportunity to say that. You knew because of this presidential address, right? And you also knew because in order to play any games, you got to acknowledge and certify that you did read the rules. All right, so that's it. I'm going to go ahead and just go ahead and get started. So go ahead and share my screen. All right, perfect. So first and foremost, let's start here. All right. So as some of you may already know, this is what we currently look like, or we did currently look like. It's probably a better way to put it. See if I can put this on the full screen. Let's give it an opportunity to come up real quick. So what I'm pulling up right now was our previous structure. We were structured or layered, I would say, in four levels. 4 levels of leadership, I guess I would call it, if I can get the thing to come up or down. Come on, don't do this to me. While this is pulling up, just understand that we were layered in 4 echelons. So with level 4 being the brand itself, Two True brand, the overall parent brand of everything that we do. Underneath Two True, or underneath level 4, you at level 3. Level 3 was our leagues, right? So we have 3 different leagues. Everyone knows that, right? We got the private club, which is our free league, the VLA, which is our under league, and then our big money league, right? The KLA. So underneath Two True at level 4. At level 2 are the teams, right? And the GMs over the teams, right? Each GM is the face of their organization. That's kind of how we see it. And then level 1 is the actual player. And the neat thing about level 1, this thing still ain't pulled up. Wow. It looks like I'm just gonna have to do this from scratch. All right, so here, how about this? How about we just do it this way rather than trying to go full screen? How about we just, there we go. We just do it that way. All right, so we're at level 4 parent brand. That's how we used to be set up, right? This is how we were set up. Level 3, all right, our 2K leagues. Level 2 are all the teams underneath the league, right? All the teams, all right? So AMC, Black Pharaoh, Sovereign Rulers, right? And then level 1, right? You see a little Superman logo, right? Everybody calling me Superman. Best big in the game. If you ain't heard about me, ask about me. But the reason, but here's why this is important, right? While it's all jokes and games, I do believe that branding yourself is important. It gives you an opportunity. We're trying to give you an opportunity to expand your own brand and become your own brand and market yourself, right? I think there's value, which we'll talk about later. There's value in having your own personal logo, whatever that may look like. I don't have one. That's why I use the Superman logo. There's value in having your own personal theme song, right? Or a song that you think, represents you the best. That way, let's say you go off in a game, right? A live broadcasted game, that's broadcasted live on our YouTube channel. You go off, you're the player of the game, and now you get invited on stage, right? You get invited on stage for our post-game interview with Diamond Line, right? He brings you up on stage. Imagine this. As you're preparing yourself to come on stage, he has your personal logo, in the background where all the audience can see, both our 2K players and everyone else who's watching our league can see your personal logo and your theme song playing in the background as you're preparing to approach the stage, right, for your post-game interview. Bro, that matters. Like that's the type of experience we are going to. Which is why, like I said, level one can't be overlooked. Like these players are having the opportunity for the first time ever, right, to brand themselves as well, right, underneath their teams. So understand that. Now, mind you, but like I said, what you're looking at right now is the old version of us. We were only in 4 levels. What we have officially transitioned to is 5 levels. Here's what that looks like. So 2 True brand is still the overall parent brand at the highest level, level 5. But between level 5 and now what is level 3, level 4 is now our organizations, right? Our organizations. And we aspire to have multiple organizations underneath 2 True brand. It's important for everyone to know this, all right? We are the e-gaming organization, right? And the reason I say e-gaming and not just 2K is because eventually, right, our organization is eventually going to venture off to like Madden as well. It's not just going to be 2K. It's going to be other, other games within the e-gaming world. But that e-gaming organization up until today didn't have a name. And so here's another thing. So 2 True also aspires to be the biggest impact period on the entire community, not just the e-gaming community. So what you're going to see is we aspire to partner with another brand, right? Spiritually Athletic. So my wife, who is the author of the book Spiritually Athletic, Dr. April Chestnut. If you haven't read the book or even heard about it, just go visit her website. Just go visit her website. It's huge. But that her organization is more so geared toward not the gaming world, but Christian athletes. She was an athlete herself. She was the 2008 SWAC MVP for softball and the 2007 SWAC Newcomer of the Year. And so she talks about a lot of things that she went through in college, as a college athlete, as a D1 athlete, in her book or whatnot. And so, the Christian athlete, outreach is really what Spiritually Athletic is geared towards. The whole movement itself is geared towards, and we aspire to partner with that, right? We aspire for Spiritually Athletic to come up underneath 2 True and be one of the 2 True organizations. So my wife hasn't officially accepted that offer yet. She's reflecting on it. We've talked about it briefly, but all right. And here's another one, right? So our counseling and healing organization, right? So our founder had this vision called Healing Homes. Here again, Healing Homes is going to be its own organization, separate from our e-gaming organization, separate from Spiritually Athletic, right, with its own leadership. But the purpose of Healing Homes is exactly that: counseling, therapy. Like they have real licensed counselors, real chaplains, real therapists who are good at what they do, who are professionally licensed to be an impact. Right, so you don't necessarily have to go to your gaming buddy, or you don't necessarily have to go to someone you don't trust. When you really want to just reach out and just ask for help, you really would just reach out and just have somebody listen to some of the things you're going through, right? You just never know what people are going through, bro. And it's important that we establish ourselves so we could be the biggest impact, not just in the e-gaming community, but in the community at large. So these are just 3 examples of how 2 True is expanding. Now, and mind you, we're not just stopping at 3. Right now, our aspiration is 3, but we're not just stopping at 3. So I thought it was really important to highlight how we're expanding and what the new expansion looks like. We're operating in 5 levels now, not just 4. But that said, let's focus on us though. So our piece of that pie, right? Our piece of that, we are the e-gaming organization. And what our administration has decided to do was take a vote to find out what name we were going to give our new e-gaming organization. I think I've already given it away too. So, but these are some of the names that we came up with, right? We thought about keeping 2 True 2K Leagues, just keeping that name, right? And just making that the e-gaming organization. We thought about TO. We thought about Bio, right? So the biggest impact organization. We thought about IPO, right? But the reason that wasn't going to work regardless is because LeBron already has his own organization called I Promise. So that just wasn't going to work altogether. BTO, Better Together organization. And then the one that, believe it or not, the one that actually got the most attention, like, you know, and almost won this debate, was M Squared. Meaningful movement. Imagine that, the meaningful movement organization. So we're going to actually keep that one in our back pocket as we continue to expand. I have a gut feeling that as we continue to expand, one of our organizations in the future is probably going to be named M Squared, Meaningful Movement. But bottom line, because here again, we don't have a lot of time, here we are. So we have decided to name ourselves, our e-gaming organization, BIO, right? The biggest impact organization. And therefore, when you hear me from here on out, when you hear me addressing or mentioning the administration, though the directors on the administration in various different departments, it's not just going to be the presidential administration anymore. It's going to be the BIO administration, right? That's who they are. Very similar to you know, any other presidential, you know how in you know, U.S. presidential cabinets, right? You have, you know, the Clinton administration, the Bush administration, the Trump administration, the Obama administration, right? This is the BIO administration. These are the group of 8 to 9 individuals who are constantly grinding day in and day out to serve, right, our e-gaming community. That is who they are. And so that is what you see in front of you. Now, that said, really quick, I have an announcement that I need to make for the realignment of 2 of our leagues. Now, unfortunately, AMC, my own AMC Legends, we have decided based on some unforeseen circumstances that we're only going to have one team in season 2. Originally, we were going to have a team in the KLA and a team in the VLA. But here again, based on some unforeseen circumstances, that is no longer the case. We're only going to have one team. And because of that, it makes more sense to have that one team represented in the KLA than the VLA. Which means we had to do some shuffling, right? In order to keep the leagues even and have, you know, 4 in one league and 4 in the other league, we had to do some shuffling. So the individuals who are already impacted by this are aware, but here's what that looks like now. So now AMC will be a KLA team only. Black Pharaohs will still have their KLA team. Spartans will still be in the KLA. You know, Wu and Top Legion will still be in the KLA. In the VLA, however, Sovereign Rulers are going to come down to the VLA. Right here again, I've already talked to Duke on the side. He's aware that this is the change that we had to make in order to keep it 4-4, but nothing else changes outside of that. So Black Pharaohs still have their VLA team led by Stony, Top Legion led by Casual, and then the Avengers led by AR-15. So that sums that up. All right, so let me go ahead and move on to the next thing. Yeah, so with BIO. Right, with BIO, let me go ahead and share with you something very special. Something very special. We have officially established our own LLC. I'm gonna bring this over so everyone can see it real quick. Pull this out here. All right, and pull this over here. Yes. So the BIO, so here we are, the biggest impact organization LLC. We have our own LLC out of the state of Colorado, set and established by our director of financial operations, okay, Jamal Gabriel, aka Jimmy. So and as our DFO, he is actually establishing our business bank account tomorrow. As a matter of fact, he's gonna do it tomorrow, and he's gonna open up our league's a BIO's bank account, a business account attached to our LLC, and that will be the account that's going to receive everyone's payment. So once that account is up, established, and up and running, that will be the account that everybody goes onto the website and pays their entry fee directly. That is the direct. We wanted to get away from Cash App altogether because Cash App is very personal, and with the type of money we're going to be handling, we don't necessarily want to be dealing with everyone's funds in our own personal accounts, right? We kind of want to just here again, not judging or anything, but we're getting better. We're getting better. We are getting more efficient at our systems, and we actually have an actual LLC now. This is us. This is us. This is what we're building. Right? This is the movement, man. This is the movement. Right? Either move with Too True or move out of the way. That's what I say. Right? All right. So that's that. Here again, I'm flying through this, y'all. I'm flying through this. Okay. Some quick reminders before I orient y'all to Discord. So quick reminders real quick. All right. So first and foremost, understand this. If your name in Discord, your actual name in Discord is not identical to your PSN, I'm telling you right now, you're already wrong. You're already wrong, and you're already setting yourself up for failure. Period. I'm telling you, like there are going to be so many different things that's going to happen for you that can't happen for you because my administration isn't going to know who you are. We have systems and processes that have to happen. And in order for it to happen like effectively and efficiently, those two names got to be identical. I'm telling you right now, those two names, they absolutely have to be identical. There's no questions about it. I'm going to give you a quick example. Let's go down to, so each department of our organization, each department of bio has its own category in Discord, and each category has its own channels. But real quick, I'm going to go to financial operations. Let's just go to financial operations. I went down too far because it's in alphabetical order. All right, investigations. Let me keep going up. Here we go. All right, Department of Financial Operations right here. The proof of payment channel. So when you click on the proof of payment channel, right, it's empty right now. So when you go onto the website, right, you pay the merchant account your entry fee. You're going to take a screenshot of that to prove that you paid, and you're going to post it in here. If you post it in here and your name is different than the PSN that we're tracking on this sheet here, so let's go over to the TPC master tracker, right? Actually, no. A much better example would be the KLA master tracker, right? So this is the master tracker that we use to talk to each other, okay? I can tell what league you've registered under, what your name is, what team you play for, your who your GM is, what your status is. Are you a GM, a starter, or a reserve? The amount you owe, right? It's one of these amounts, the amount that you owe, whether or not you've paid. Let me tell you, if the name that we have here, which is your PSN that you registered under, is different than your name in Discord, and you submit that proof of payment, this no isn't going to turn to a yes. I'm telling you right now, and you're not going to get credit for having paid something, that you actually did pay, but you're not going to get credit. You're not going to be an eligible player in the league because we can't match the name with your Discord name. That's the bottom line. That is why that is an actual rule, which I'll go over, at the end when I go over all the rules. But bro, like if I can't remind y'all of anything else, that is by far, if you are in the private club, the VLA or the KLA, and you have not changed your Discord name to be identical with your PSN, you've already set yourself up for failure. 100%. 100%. There's no other way to look at it. So that said, let's go ahead and, all right. So it's time to orient y'all to the Discord. Okay, so welcome to the new version of our Discord. All right, so I'm gonna scroll down. I'm gonna go past the welcome. I'm just gonna go one department at a time, right? Some of these things haven't changed. Bio administration, that's for us. This is where we talk to each other as an administration. Players lounge hasn't changed. That's where y'all, talk all y'all trash or whatnot. Keep it clean in there. Telling y'all when I get to the code of conduct, y'all better keep it as of tomorrow, y'all better keep. I'm telling you, you don't want to be the one that gets caught using profanity or anything like that. Come the 27th of this month. I'm looking at my wrist like I actually have a watch on. All right, so players lounge, that hasn't changed. The team locker rooms, that hasn't changed. All right, director of broadcasting. Or department of broadcasting. So start here first. All right, our official YouTube channel is found on the very first channel. So you can never say you don't know where our YouTube channel is. It is the first channel of the first department. This is it right here. You click on this, bam. This is the channel. This is the channel that every single one of our live broadcasted games will be broadcasted on by Diamond Lion himself. This is it. All right. Every time you have to post a live stream, you're going to post your live stream right there. Department of Broadcasting, right? Department of Broadcasting. This is where it's supposed to post that right here. However, I can say a lot of y'all are already set up because your streaming accounts are connected to the Me6, which was also another rule. And as long as that's the case, Here again, we've mitigated this. You now no longer have to manually do this yourself. The moment your account goes live, the Me6 posts it for you. But if you are one of those streamers who has not posted your accounts to Me6 yet, then you got to do this yourself by rule. All right. So we got our media room. Bam, we have a room so if you want your own personal logo, like if you want to tell Diamond Lion, hey, here's my personal logo, right? And you want Diamond Lion to come here and take whatever you posted in here and put it in here, like I did, right? That's my player screenshot. Here we go. Personal logo right here. That's what you want, right? If this is the personal logo that I want, everyone to see, and you want him to put that here on his tracker, this is how you communicate that to him. You come, request for personal logo, and you post it right here. He looks at your name, and then he's going to come find your profile. He's going to copy that, and he's going to paste it under your profile, right? That's how that works. It's not going to work if your name is different than your PSN. I'm telling you right now. The same thing for personal theme song requests. Y'all seen it. Y'all saw, on the registration what that looked like. So I'm not going to beat that dead horse. Not going to beat that dead horse at all. So, all right, let's move on for the Department of External Affairs, right? All of this is for our founder, right? GQ. He handles, he's probably going to make this even more robust because he's going to handle all the promotions, the flyers, all of that. That's not really for y'all to worry about, but y'all can view it at your leisure. Director of Financial Operations, right? So I've already showed y'all the LLC, right? Matter of fact, somebody already gave it a comment. Hey, appreciate that, AR-15. Yeah, man, we're doing big things out here, bro. We're doing big things out here. That's the LLC, right? And I've already showed y'all proof of payment, right? This is where you're going to post your proof of payment once payment opens up. Once payment opens up. All right, so now let's go down to the next one. Department of Internal Affairs, right? Casual Comp is our Director of Internal Affairs, right? Very first channel under his is the websites, right? So KLA website, you can never, ever, ever, ever say you don't know how to get to the website. You can't say that no more. You can't say that no more. Don't look for stats in Discord. Don't look for the standings in Discord. You're not going to find them. They're completely gone away. We're doing everything through our website. Every single thing we do is on our official platform, right? So let's go take a look. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go to should I go to KLA or VLA? I'm going to go to the VLA website because that's the one that we haven't updated yet, considering all the new changes, right? So as you see AMC's right there, we haven't, this change is so brand new with AMC only having one team now, we haven't even had an opportunity to update our website yet. Now that's something I got to do later on tonight is rearrange, and I got to go rearrange the schedules. But this is what that looks like. This is what this website looks like, right? And everything you will ever need is right here, right? There goes registration. All right, any news, all the teams, right? You can always click to see who the teams are. Bam, right? Who the teams are. That's who they are. Scores and schedules. Game results. You always, all right, ain't no games today. Okay, got it. Upcoming games. Bam. What day you looking for? Right? August 4th, August 7th. You can never say you don't know who has a game. You can't say that, right? I'm telling you right now, KLA games are Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. VLA games is Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Private club games is Monday through Saturday, right? Everybody gets Sunday off. Everybody gets Sunday off. And the reason the private club can play their games Monday through Saturday is because the private club, they're a free league. They don't get their games broadcasted live on our Two True YouTube channel, right? Because they're a free league, right? Our live broadcasting is a service that you need to pay for. So there's the idea there. That's what enables us to run all three leagues at the same time. So they kind of have the luxury of being able to play every day, and understanding that. But they still operate under the same rules, right? The bio regulations. Standings, right? When you want to come see the standings, like we're bam, this is it. Everything is based off of this website. Stats, right? Everybody want to see their stats, especially records, right? Season records. Obviously, nobody has any season records yet. bada bam. But here again, this is what that looks like. Everything is based off the website, right? And even if I hit the KLA website right now, bam, KLA website, same thing. Saying that the story does not change. All right, welcome to the KLA. Looks the exact same, right? If I were to do this for the VLA right now, it would look, not the VLA. Matter of fact, if I went to the private club right now, here we go. I'm trying to fly through this because all this is going to take time. I'm trying to keep this less than an hour. Bingo. And go down to the website. Broadcasting, yep, all that. All right. Internal affairs. League website. Bam. Same thing. It looks the exact same. It's still a Two True brand NBA 2K league. Eventually, once we come up with like a logo for bio, then we're clearly going to change this to bio, right? Because we've changed the name, right? So we're underneath Two True, but the organization running the league is bio underneath the brand of Two True, right? But look at all this. Look at all these teams in the private club, bro. All these teams in the private club. Look at all this, right? You got Humble Mentality, Memphis Menaces, Team Mafia, Proceed with Caution, all of these. 24 Reapers, I know y'all just recently dropped. I don't know who I'm going to replace y'all with yet because no one's registered on the wait list yet. But yeah, so we're going to have to figure that out, like sooner rather than later. But as I'm currently tracking, everybody else is still in with an exception of 24 Reapers. All right. But bam. All right. So that's what that looks like. My bad. I didn't mean to do that. All right. So next, let's move on. All right. Let's move on. Bam. Okay. So here we are. We're back in the Department of Internal Affairs. So check this out. Everybody got to go through this. If you want to play, if you want to be eligible, you got about 24 hours to get this right. All right. You have to submit your home uniforms, a screenshot of your home uniforms right here, where the Director of Internal Affairs can physically see it and tell you, respond back. If he does not respond back here in this channel, letting you know, hey, Top Legion, y'all home uniforms are good. Hey, I don't know, AMC Legends, your home uniforms are approved based on what's laid out in the bio regulations. If he doesn't, then you're not approved. If he doesn't tell you you're approved right here, your uniforms are not approved. We'll get to the consequences of that here shortly. Same thing with your away uniforms, and the same thing with your gyms, right? Your court. All right, bam, right? All these court requirements is what it got to look like, bro. It's what it got to look like. I'm gonna go over more of that later. Your Department of Investigations. Hey, so check this out. So the Director of Investigations, right? My dog Breezy is the Director of Investigations, and I'm not gonna go over the rules and regulations just yet. I'm saving that for the end because that's gonna take the longest. But understand this: every time someone lags out, right? They got to provide proof now. You can't just say, oh, my friend, he lagged out or whatever, we're going to start over. No. The league ain't accepting that. Because I'm going to tell you right now, y'all start a game or whatever, and then teams wind up quitting out, say, oh, we supposedly lagged out. I promise you, you're going to have to submit that to the league, because if you don't, it's going to be a forfeit, right? Our statisticians do not have time to go back and forth and try to figure out whether this person's telling the truth or not. No, when you lag out, here again, you're gonna have to go ahead and submit that here, like a screenshot of the error code here, so the league can let you progress and move forward. Understanding that someone breaks a rule, I'm gonna go over this a little later on. Matter of fact, I should come back to this because I'm gonna wind up going over this later on. But someone breaks a rule, they done broke a rule, and you're gonna, accuse them of, hey, this person broke this rule. They use tape glitch, or they use this, or they use that. This is where you're going to announce that at, right here, for the Director of Investigations to see, right here. Like this team, this person did this right here, so they can go investigate it. Hold the community accountable. Hold them accountable. And then the adjudication decisions, which is my decisions, right? So when I adjudicate punishment for someone who's broken a rule, the director of investigations will announce whatever my decision was right here, so the entire league can see it. You will know who's gotten fined, how much they've gotten fined, who's gotten suspended, how long their suspensions are. You'll know it right here. Complete transparency. I'm telling you, we're going to deter all the people who want to get away with, breaking rules and stuff. Listen, I don't believe in public humiliation, but I do believe in public accountability. All right. So we're going to come back to that. The Department of Personnel Management. Check this out. Hey, I know a lot of y'all have hit Kingdom Bearer up privately. I got it. Y'all hit her up privately or whatever, and a DM because this wasn't built yet. I got that. Completely got it. I have no problem with that at all. Moving forward, this is how the process is going to work. Y'all see this here? Matter of fact, let me go ahead and zoom in. View. Yeah. Let me zoom in right quick so y'all can get a good look at my player. Hold on. Right? Bam. You see that? You see how I embedded it? She does that for y'all. So she is going to take whatever you submit to her in this channel, right? In the player screenshot submission channel, whatever you submit to her, this is how you submit it. You take that picture, you post it here, enter, and she looks at your name, okay, matches the name to the PSN, finds your account here, and then puts it here. And this is how she puts it, uploads it to our actual website. That's how she does it, okay? Just so everybody understands what that process looks like. Bam. So this is our Department of Personnel Management. For signings, bro, this is so important. I need y'all to understand this right here. Trevor officially accepted my contract offer. Bet. So here's what that looks like. All right. Signings are a two-way street. There's no such thing as a GM, looking at a free agent and being like, yep, hey, I like that player, I'm signing him. Right? Whether that player has a choice or not, I want that player on my team and I'm signing him. No, signings are a two-way street. It's an official announcement to the Director of Personnel Management, the DPM, right? Kingdom Bearer herself. The team announces their intent to offer a contract to a player, right? Or to offer to sign a player. And the player also has to respond to the offer. Both have to happen before Kingdom Bearer responds and lets you all know, yep, that contract is locked. And she'll respond right here. She will not respond to any offers if both parties do not announce their intentions to sign with each other. It is a two-way street, okay? Now, that said, players, y'all got to understand this. Once you announce out loud that it is your intent to sign with a team, and Kingdom Bearer locks that signing, you now belong to that team. There's no such thing as paying for a forced release if you're not getting the playing time you want. You knew you weren't going to get no playing time when you signed as a reserve in the first place, right? So understand that. Like, you're either signing as a starter or as a reserve. And here again, if you're unhappy with the way the office is going or y'all are losing, you want to go play with somebody else, oh well, that GM at that point does not have to release you. Right? Because they offered you accepted the offer, you have signed that contract, you're locked into that contract, they don't have to release you. You can request a release, but it's completely 100% unilaterally up to them. That matters, right? So this is what that looks like. These are the individuals that I have offered. I didn't even announce that, my bad. So I am now the GM again for my AMC Legends, all right? Like I said, we have decided to condense and just become one again, rather than having two teams. And I am officially the face of my organization again. I take that responsibility with pride. Shout out to Breezy for trusting me enough to give me those reins back. A lot of people who kind of know our background know that I especially when I thought I was going to wind up retiring from 2K, I selected him as my predecessor, not really thinking that I was ever going to be a GM again. So he's giving me those reins back, and that's how we've decided to move forward. So enough about us. Here's what that process looks like. All right, y'all got questions, y'all need to ask them. Y'all need to just reach out and ask. ask me, ask Kingdom Bearer herself, because this is her process. But this is how she communicates with you all. And more importantly, this is how you communicate with her, your intent to sign. Same thing with trade proposals, right? So if you have a trade proposal, right, both teams need to make it very clear, hey, Top Legion is offering the Spartans, this player and this player in exchange for this player and that player. And then the Spartans have to come back and say the Spartans agree and accept the trade proposal for this player, that player, that player. She sees both teams announce it. That is when she locks it. It's an official transaction at this point. It goes down into transaction history, and then she makes the trade on the actual website as well as our tracker, right? That's how all the profiles get pushed and managed, but it has to happen here first. All right. Same thing with releases. If a GM decides to release you, it's a release request. GMs have to request to release a player that they've already signed to the league. It's not just automatic. Like, yep, I'm releasing that person. Here they go. Nope. AMC Legends request to release Scarecrow. It's a request. And then she'll respond to the request. Once she responds, she locks it. Yep, they're going to release. Bam, she'll remove that player from the team roster. You'll know it because you'll see her response right here. This channel, this category is how she is going to communicate with you all at large for all of your personnel transactions. Same thing with VLA, same thing with KLA. Same thing with the Prop Club. All right. Last but not least, before we finally get to, I think that's, bet. Before we get to the rules and regulations, we're at 40 minutes right now. This is good. That gives you 20 minutes to I'm going to keep this under an hour. We're going to do this. We're going to get through it. So Department of Statistics, right? So my baby sister, Charlie Robb, shout out to her. KLA GMs, it is your responsibility to post your box scores right here using your PS app, your PlayStation app. Do not take your I'm telling y'all, don't do it. Don't take your cell phone and try to take a picture of your actual TV with your cell phone and use that picture to upload it here. Don't do it. I'm telling you right now, it's going to get rejected. And I know y'all don't believe it. One of y'all going to do it. One of you going to do it. And the one who does it, y'all going to get mad. The winning GM, because mind you, if you lose the game, it's not your responsibility to post a box score. It's only your responsibility to post a box score if you won the game. Right? Only the winning GM has to post it. And I'm telling you right now, there's going to be some winning GMs with some hurt feelings because they're going, I'm telling you right now, I'm going to adjudicate forfeits. It's going to happen. Like, oh yeah, I see, it looks like you did win that game, but you didn't submit it right. You didn't do it based on bio standards. Bet I'm finna get that win to the other team and nobody's going to get any stats. Don't make me be that, butthole of a president. Just do it right the first time. It's a part of our rules. You've acknowledged the rules. Do it right the first time. Submit it the right way. Take the screenshot, right? Screenshot on the PlayStation app and submit that screenshot of the box score of the PlayStation app here so our statistician can do her job well. I'm telling you it matters. Let me tell you why it matters. The reason it matters is because, here we go. It'll probably be much better. I didn't even think about it until just now. This will probably be much better if I show y'all why it matters. You won't believe me unless I show you, right? So let me come to KLA right quick. Let me tell you what our let's go to games. Let's go to all the games. All right. Let me tell you what our statistician sees on her end. So let's go to the first game of the season, even though all of this is gonna change. Because now it's 4 teams. She's going to click on Vision, right? So let's say AMC versus the Legends versus Black Pharaohs on August the 1st, right? She's going to click on Vision. This is what she's going to click. When she clicks Vision, all right, it's going to give her the opportunity to upload the PlayStation screenshot. It will, I'm telling you right now, as you can see, the image must be a 1920 by 1080 or a 1600 by 900. Right? That's what the measurements of the image have to be. That's only PlayStation app is going to let you take those type of screenshots, right? The image must be completely unedited screenshot of the final stats. No resizing, no cropping, no rotations allowed. I'm telling you. So, and if you do it right, what she can do is going to save her so much time, because y'all got to understand, my sister is managing 3 leagues right now. She'll be able to click this and choose a screenshot, upload it, and all the stats will populate right here for her. And all she has to do is save and move on to the next one. And I'm telling y'all, I know for a fact, some of y'all think y'all gonna make it really hard for her. Y'all gonna make it really hard. What you're gonna wind up doing is you're gonna try to, you're gonna do it with your phone or whatever, and the screenshot that the picture that you take with your phone is not going to be compatible here. All these numbers going to be messed up, and you have to do it everything manually. I'm not going to ask my sister to manage stats for 3 different leagues manually. I'm not doing it. I'm telling you, I'm not doing it, which is why it's in my rules. Y'all go ahead and try me if you want to. I promise you, I'll be adjudicating forfeits left and right, and ain't nobody getting no stats. I'm telling you, I'm just keeping it on 100. This is our system. We are paying for this capability on our website for a reason. We're going to use it. I am paying out of pocket, my own personal funds, for a reason. We're going to use it. All right. KLA box score submission, VLA box score submission, and then trivia. Like, our statistician, right? So my sister's going to have an opportunity to engage with you all, every so often with trivia questions. Like, okay, who is currently third on the leaderboard for rebounds on the season? Is it A, Scarecrow from AMC? Is it B, Woo from Top Legion? Is it C, Camaro Matt from Black Pharaohs? Is it D, somebody from who's the other team? The Spartans or whatever, right? Right. So, and that's the opportunity for her to engage. So here again, every single director has their own channel, has their own category with their own channels within their category in Discord. This is how you communicate with us from here on out. This is it. This is everything you'll ever need to do. You'll be able to do it right here. This is it. All right. So now going back to investigations. It's time to go. It's time to look at the bio rules, right? So bio rules and regulations. This is it. This is the regulation. I'm gonna go straight to it. Let's go and get this party started. Let's come out of here. Let's go 90%, and let's go to bio adjudication. All right. Okay, listen up, y'all. I know this is going to be the longest portion, but just bear with me. I'm going to try to get through this as fast as possible, but just understand this. It is imperative that every single person reads this, or at least listens to me reading this before they start playing any games. All right. So here we go. The bio regulations and adjudication matrix. The bio regulations officially take effect on July 27th, that's tomorrow, of 2023. All players and GMs are required to acknowledge that they have read the bio regulations in its entirety before they are authorized to make their entry fee payment or play in any games. The biggest impact organization, right? The president of the biggest impact organization, which is me, bio, right? The bio president, withholds command authority to adjudicate all violations that are proven guilty by the Department of Investigations. All adjudication hearings will be held virtually via Zoom, whereby the player, the GM, and the DOI, right, the Director of Investigations, must be present at a minimum. Other members of the bio administration are authorized to attend. If the DOI is unable to attend, only a director of another department can serve as a replacement for the hearing. During the adjudication of the hearing, the president must inform the accused of the following. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I went straight Army. Y'all know I just came from West Point, commanding 120 cadets in my company for 3 years. I have built this system a lot like what we do in the military. So this is what I have to say during every hearing. I have to advise them of their rights. They have a right to know certain things what they've been accused of. So here we go. You stand accused of violating bio regulations in accordance with section blank, which I'll explain shortly, because you have 6 sections and every section has a topic, right? Section 1, lagouts and coding. Section 2 is streaming. Section 3 is personnel management. Section 4 is uniform court. All right. And so every section has its own, topic, and there are multiple rules in each section. Right, just so you can understand how this is set up. So you stand accused of violating the bio regulations in accordance with section blank, rule blank. And number 2, we are not here to determine innocence or guilt. The Department of Investigations has already determined that you are guilty of the accusation. I am only here to adjudicate corrective action. Number 3, you have not, I have not yet made a decision whether or not you'll be punished. Number 4, I will not impose punishment until after you've had an opportunity to present matters of defense, which explain why no punishment should happen at all, if you have matters of defense, or matters of extenuation and mitigation, which explain why punishment should be lighter than normal. Number 5, you have the right to take full responsibility for your actions before I make my decision, right? If you don't have any reason why you think punishment should be very light and you just want to step up like, hey, I did it, I did the crime, I'll serve the time, I want to take full responsibility, you have the right to say that. And I'm going to tell you flat out, that is what I am looking for. I'm trying to build a culture where we hold each other accountable, we hold ourselves accountable. And as I'm making my decisions, I promise you it's in your best interest to just take full responsibility of whatever it is that whatever violation you've committed. Or number 6, you have the right to remain silent and receive the maximum punishment. The floor is yours. So that's how that's going to go. And then I'm going to turn it over to you in this virtual setting. You're going to say whatever you want to say, whatever you think you need to say, whatever is appropriate to either defend your actions or to take full responsibility of your actions before I adjudicate my disposition. So let's go through all these really quick. See how fast we can get through this. So section 1, rule 1. All right. Section 1, lag outs and code outs. Rule 1, first quarter. If a player lags out in the first quarter of a game, that player must submit a screenshot of the error code, of the code error to the investigations department via the Discord channel. I already showed y'all where to go for that. The screenshot must show both the error code and the score at the bottom right part of the screen to prove the game was still in the first quarter. We need to be able to see both. Can't go wrong when you're using the PS app. Now, the adjudication authority, any member of the bio administration, that doesn't even have to be a director. Any member of the bio administration can adjudicate this forward. They see what you posted. They can clearly see it was in the first quarter, and any member of the bio administration can authorize a restart of that game, right? So it says here, a member of the bio administration informs both teams to quit and restart the game. That member must annotate this action occurred in the bio adjudication tracker. Simple as that. All right. Simple as that. Bio adjudication tracker. Bam. All right. Come back over here. Rule number 2. Other than the first quarter, right? So point spread. If a player lags out in the second, third, or fourth quarter of a game, that player must submit a screenshot of the code error to the investigations department Discord channel. The screenshot must show both the error code and the score at the bottom right part of the screen to prove the game was actually so that is actually wrong. To prove the game was not in the first quarter. I didn't catch that until just now. To prove the game was not still, that was copy and pasted, my bad. To prove the game was not in the first quarter. The GM is also responsible of capturing a screenshot of the box score and submitting it to the Department of Statistics before a new game restart can begin. Understand that, because you got to remember now, even though the league is giving you the point spread, our statistician is going to have to add both box scores up to get the stats right now. Got to understand that. So over on this side, only after proof of the code out and the current box score is submitted, a director, it has to be a director. It's not any member of the bio, it has to be a director or higher. A director of the bio administration will approve the point spread and calculate the exact time remaining in the game. The director informs both teams to quit or restart the game. That director must annotate that this action occurred in the bio adjudication tracker. The director of statistics will calculate stats by adding all box scores from each restarted game. Okay, so that's what that looks like. Rule 3, illegal substitutions. If a game is restarted for any reason, all 10 players must remain the same, and all 10 players must finish the restarted game with the same builds and same takeover combinations. Say that again. Same takeover. So whatever your primary take was, stays the same. Whatever your secondary take was, stays the same. You can't even switch the order of the takes. All right. That they brought to the original game. So here's the adjudication. I'm the adjudication authority if someone tries to use an illegal substitution. All right. So if a player is found guilty by the Department of Investigation to have broken Rule 3 of Section 1 by restarting a game with a different build, different takeover combination, or by allowing another player to take their place without the express permission of the Director of Investigation or higher, that player and the player who illegally replaced them is subject to punitive action whereby the president reserves the authority to punish them with a fine up to 40% of their entry fee and or a suspension up to 5 games. This is what that looks like. Here's the rule over here. Here's what the adjudication looks like if you're caught breaking it. Bam. Can't say you didn't know. Number 4, rule 4. Let's come on down. Legal substitutions. If a player is absolutely unable to finish out a game due to internet connectivity issues such as local storms, etc., the GM may request an exception to Rule 3 by asking the DOI or the president for a legal substitution. If a legal substitution is approved, the entire game must restart from the beginning of the first quarter, regardless of what quarter the lag out happened. If somebody lags out in the fourth quarter of the game, and they absolutely cannot get everybody back on, and a legal substitution is approved by us, guess what? All those stats go out the window. It doesn't matter what the score was. Now, obviously, we're gonna use. I can promise you this much: we're gonna use some common sense and discretion, right? This is an art and not a science, right? Clearly, if one team was winning by 40 in the fourth quarter, and someone does lag out legit, and they send a screenshot, and you can clearly see the error code, right? So it's a clear lag out, but they were winning by 40. We're obviously, right, send the screenshot of the box score, right? That's just going to be the end of the game. I'm gonna tell you this right now. I'm not going to authorize a legal substitution for a game that was out of hand anyway. That's a waste of everyone's time. I'm not doing that. But in the event a legal substitution is absolutely necessary, then that substitution will be at the expense of whatever stats were accrued. Those stats are going to go out the window. You're going to restart the game from the very beginning, period. That's that. So any director or higher can approve a legal substitution. Proof of blackout, Rule 5. I've already showed you what that looks like. But look, teams cannot quit out of a game without providing proof of a lagout. If a player quits on the team during a game that didn't lag out, that team must finish the game with that AI. End of story. Like in order for you to get a restart granted, you have to submit proof of the error code. If you do not, I don't care if he actually did lag out. If you don't submit the proof that he lagged out, we're going to treat it like he quit. And if we treat it like he quit, you got to finish that game. If you don't finish that game, it's a forfeit. End of story. Provide proof or forfeit, right? And if somebody quits on you, oh well, you just finna play with that AI. You should have thought about their propensity to quit before you before you offered them a contract. All right, the adjudication here again. Claiming a lag out without providing proof will result in a forfeit. You've already said that for that team, and no stats will be given to either team. Moving on to Section 2, streaming. All right, so Me6, Section 2, Rule 1. Streaming is 100% mandatory for both teams. All GMs must have their stream links registered to the Me6 in the Discord app. Failure to stream a game by a GM will result in punitive action by the president. The maximum punishment the president can adjudicate for a violation of Section 2, Rule 1 is a fine of 20% of the entry fee and or a forfeiture of the game with no stats to either team. 100%. All right. So you can win the game. But if I don't have a record of the game, you didn't stream it, right? If you didn't stream that game, I have no record of it. No, no, like, no. You have to stream your games. It's the bottom line, period. Rule 2, mandatory stream settings. All streams, this is a big one. All streams must have the gaming audio on, but the party chat audio muted. This is going to take some of y'all some time to figure out how to do this, right? Because I know it looks a little bit different on the PS5 than it does the PS4. But your gaming audio has to be on, right? So when Diamond Lion is streaming over your live stream on our official YouTube channel, he shouldn't hear any of your voices. You actually have to go in and press the mute button and make sure your stream is muted every time, the mute button, so your party chat is muted, but the gaming audio is still audible. So they can still hear. So Diamond Lion should still be able to hear the buzzer beater, the buzzer sound, the horn. He should be able to hear the basketball bouncing. He should be able to hear, the squeaky sound the shoes make when people are running back and forth on the court. He should be able to hear all of that. The only thing he should not be able to hear is y'all's voices. His voice should be the only voice that we hear, actual human voice. That is what that looks like. I'm telling y'all need to figure it out. Figure that out. Everybody else does it or whatever, figure it out. All right, so now let's go to the adjudication. Failure to mute the audio chat and failure to keep the gaming audio on. That matters too. I'm telling you right now, don't just go and mute everything to include the gaming audio. So now all you hear is his voice talking over nothingness. You can see the game happening, but you don't hear anything. No. We're trying to make this as realistic as possible. All right. So here again, failure to do so will result in punitive action from the president. The maximum punishment the president can adjudicate for a violation of Section 2, Rule 2, is a fine of 20% of the entry fee or forfeiture of the game with no stats to either team. Bam. Penny your questions. So you can win the game. You can have streamed it, but the audio was either all the way muted, which is not the instructions, or not muted at all, which is also not the instructions, right? And you can still catch this forfeit, period. Just follow the rules. They matter. Stream sniping, Rule 3, absolutely no stream sniping whatsoever. Opposing players are not authorized to watch another team's initial stream to gain an unfair advantage in scouting the opposing builds, right? So everybody logs in. Y'all know what stream sniping is. I'm not going to insult your intelligence. Everybody logs into the into the pro-am zone, right? Everybody starts their streams, right? Opposing player goes to the other team's stream. Hey, so they got a non-shooting glass screen. They probably gonna run PNR. No, you cannot do that. And if you get caught, I'm telling you right now, let's go talk through it. Any violation of Section 2, Rule 3 will result in punitive action from the president. The maximum punishment the president can adjudicate for violation of Section 2, Rule 3 is a fine of 25% of the entry fee and a forfeiture of the game with no stats to either team. Don't get caught stream sniping. Don't do it. Just don't do it, bro. Just don't do it. Like, that's not the culture we after, man. Don't try to gain an unfair advantage. Play straight up. Play straight up. Stream saving. Rule 4, all Twitch streaming accounts must have streamed games, must save stream games for a minimum of 14 days. All YouTube streaming accounts must save stream games permanently, period. End of story, right? If the Department of Investigations cannot access valid evidence of a pending investigation due to a streaming account not saving a stream game, the president withholds the authority to adjudicate punitive action against the streamer. The maximum punishment the president can adjudicate for a violation of Section 2, Rule 4 is a fine of 25% of the entry fee and or forfeiture of a game with no stats to either team. Moving on. I should have put a game suspension on that too. Yeah, I'm lucky I didn't. All right. Section 3, account sharing. Rule 1, all forms of account sharing is prohibited, no exceptions. There are no exceptions to this rule. Any violation of this rule will result in punitive action. Maximum punishment is a fine of 50% of your entry fee and up to a 10-game suspension. What are your questions? And it can also result in a forfeiture of the game to no stats of either team. So the team that forfeits gets the loss and no stats. The other team gets the win and no stats. That's what that looks like. All right. Rule 2, non-registered players. Only players who are officially registered on a team's roster can play in the game for that team. No exceptions. GMs who are caught using illegal players in games are subject to punitive action, right? So any violation of this rule, maximum punishment is 50% of the entry fee, 50% of the entry fee. So in the KLA, well, I'm talking to the GMs right now. If you get caught, think about this. You get caught using an illegal player, someone who is not registered on your roster on our official website, right? And that player's name, and there's no way you're going to get away with it because we do our stats, right? We think about this. Just think about it. Our statistician is literally going to that screen I showed you earlier or whatever, and the names are going to auto-populate based on the screenshot. And if one of those names ain't registered, it's gonna remain blank. She's gonna know immediately, okay, here's a problem, right? Here's the name over here on the box score. That name is not registered over here. That's why it remained blank. She's gonna look, she's gonna try to find it. Yep, this person is not in our league, whatever. It's gonna happen so fast. Bro, don't even try. I'm telling you right now, don't try it. Don't try it. Somebody's gonna try it though. We know somebody's gonna try it. We know somebody's gonna try it. So, and when they do, that GM, I'm not going after the illegal player. The illegal player don't even belong in the league. I can't punish someone who's not, I can't adjudicate punitive action against someone who ain't even registered in the league. No, I'm coming after the GM. And that GM could potentially, especially if they can't explain themselves, subject to 50% of their entry fee. In the KLA, that means you might cough up $100 that day. And if you don't cough up $100, that means you might not be playing at all again. This ain't worth it. I'm telling y'all, man, breaking these rules ain't worth it. So that's that. So that non-registered players. Bam. So personnel transactions. I've already explained this part. All players must inform the director of personnel management which team, GM, they are choosing to sign with, either verbally or through registration. And actually, so it's actually both. So you're going to indicate who you hope to sign with in registration, but you're going to officially accept the contract, right, once it's offered to you in Discord, which I've already showed y'all. All right. Once a player signing is official, that player belongs to the GM and cannot be released from that team without the GM's consent. All trades, releases, and signings of the registered paid player are completely controlled by the GMs after the open free agent signing period has concluded. All right. Only the director of personnel management has the authority to approve and lock personnel transactions. All right, that's misspelled. Personnel transactions, such as signings, releases, trades, etc. All right. Number 3, the free agent deadline. Free agent deadline is August 12th. What are your questions? All right, let's move on. The director of personnel management will not approve any personnel transactions after August 12th. Bam. All right, moving on. Let's fly through these. Private club rosters, maximum is 10. DPM will make sure nobody has more than 10 in the private club. KLA and VLA roster, no more than 8, right? 5 starters, 3 reserves. And KLA, VLA, period. DPM will make sure the status of each player between whether or not you're a reserve. Like, I think I showed you that already, right? Hold on, let me go back to over here. I think I showed you what that looked like, right? So you're either a GM, a starter, or a reserve. Bam, GM, a starter, or reserve. Simple as that. This is how she tracks that. Dang, I don't miss my doggone shoot. Hold on. Where'd I go? Wait a minute. Oh boy. Here you go. Bam. All right. Registered payments. All players who are registered. That's a typo there. All players who are registered for a money league must make the payment during the payment window to the director of financial operations only after the DPM has confirmed and locked their status as a starter or reserve for their team, right? So again, offer is made, offer confirmed, right? Oh, excuse me, offer made, offer accepted, two separate announcements or whatever. Offer confirmed and locked, that's the third announcement made by Kingdom Bearer. After that announcement, that is when you are eligible to make your payment to on the official website to our director of financial operations, right? Only after that. As I said earlier, KLA GMs 200, GMs for VLA and starters for KLA will pay 75. Reserves for KLA, starters for VLA pay 30. Reserves for VLA pay 15. All right. The DFO will only receive payment via the Biggest Impact Organization LLC bank account. That is the only account we are going to use to manage everyone's funds. Private club. All right. Replacement teams, bam. So the private club will maintain a wait list just like we did in season one, y'all. So if you played in the private club in season one, you know what this looks like. The private club will maintain a wait list of teams who wish to join the league after registration has closed. The wait list will be established by placing teams in order based on when the registered wait list, based on when they register for the wait list. My bad. Yeah. All right. Teams who register on the wait list must provide a team name, logo, and the name of their GM and their full roster of 10 players, 10 or less players. Right. Once you do that, you're officially on the wait list. Right. Understand this: the president withholds the authority to replace any team that refuses to comply with any section of the bio regulations. You don't have to drop for me to replace you. I can replace you just because you're not complying with our regulations. 100%. It's a privilege to be a part of anything that bio is doing. It is a privilege, and especially if you get a chance to be a part of this, get your own profile, your own brand, or what, and all that, like your own player profile, your own stats for free. You're not even paying anything. Yeah, you're gonna abide by rules. And if you can't, I 100% am very comfortable in replacing you with another team. I've done it. I'm telling you, I've done it. All right. Bam. So there's that. Replacement teams. Now, mind you, replacement teams will adopt the record of the team it replaces, just like in season one. However, they are authorized to change their name, logo, and any other identity-related items. All right, bam. Rule 9. Here's the biggest one. I done said this a million times. I can't say it enough. Names and gamer tags. All players participating in one of the 3 Bio 2K leagues must absolutely match their Discord name with their PSN, period. End of story. The 2 names must be identical for the DPM to perform personnel duties, right? Personnel management duties properly. Once registration is complete, players are not authorized to change their names without permission from the director of personnel management first. You got to understand that. And I got it. Stuff happens. I got it. Stuff happens. Stuff happens or whatever. You got to change your name, whatever. You have to request permission to change your name, right? And then when you do it, when you change your PSN, you also have to change your Discord name, and you have to request permission to do that. Oh, as a matter of fact, you know what? Let's do that now. I just thought about it. Let's go ahead and do that while you know what? Let's go ahead and do it. Name change requests. Bam. So I just did that for the KLA. All right, and I'm gonna do the same thing. What was personal management? Bam. Same thing here. Name change requests. This is where you go to get your name change request approved, right here. I hope I made that clear, y'all. You can't just change your name just to be changing your name and not let her know. I ain't mean to do that. I definitely ain't mean to do that. I 100% not mean to do that. I just went to, here we go. So I'm going to delete that one. It's just too many. All right, bam. All right. Bam. Only the director of personnel management can authorize a name change. The DPM must notify the president if a player conducts unauthorized name change. The president withholds the authority to adjudicate punitive action, right, against those who violate Section 3, Rule 9, with a maximum punishment of 30% of the entry fee, or suspension of up to 3 games. Okay. Illegal players. Now, this rule might be one of the most important, right? Because just because you are a registered paid player doesn't necessarily mean you're legal yet. Let me explain why. So, illegal players, any players who meet any of the following criteria are deemed illegal for use in games. So obviously non-registered players, right, on the official website, non-paid players. So maybe you've applied, but you haven't paid yet. That means you're still not legal yet. Players who have been fined by the league and have yet to pay their fine. All right, so you've been here again, you got to understand this, right? You got to understand, Breezy is keeping this tracker, right? Every time you get punished by the president, anytime you get accused, the process goes like this. The first thing he'll do, he's going to type your name right here. Then he's going to come here, all right? So let's say Scarecrow got accused, right? Bam. Scarecrow for underscore, you know what I'm saying, underscore YT, like this up. So, all right, bam. And then, you know, I violated Section 3, rule, let's say rule, I don't know, 7, whatever, right? Bam, right? He's going to type, yup, he is guilty, you know, whatever he types there, whatever. Bam. All right. So, whatever the case may be. But actually, initially, he won't even type anything there. He'll type those 3 things, and then he'll come over here, case status, it's pending investigation, because he's not even, then once he's done, he's done his investigation, and he's decided, okay, cool, yep, guilty as charged, right? You know, guilty of, you know, whatever, right? Then he's gonna come over here, he's gonna say, all right, pending the hearing. He's gonna say, you know, hey, I wanna do this hearing with the president on 6 August. 6 August 23. Recommended adjudication. Let's say Breezy say, I want to max him out. Max him. My bad, y'all. I'm getting tired, clearly. Max, right? Presidential disposition. I say, no, I don't want to max him. Just want to fine him. I'm gonna fine him, fine him 25%. 25% fine. That's or whatever, no suspension. All right, so not suspended any games, got to pay a 25% fine or whatever. So the projected date of completion then will be as soon as the fine is paid. So as soon as that person pays that fine officially, they go from serving disposition status, right? And then once that fine is paid, it goes to disposition complete. Once that disposition is complete, the player is legal again. It's not until the disposition is complete that the player is legal. So let's say you get a suspension, right? Let's say we go 5-game suspension. 5-game suspension. Bam. That means, and Breezy gonna say, okay, this player not even gonna be eligible to come back and be a legal player, even if they pay the fine right away. Not even gonna be eligible until, I don't know, 13 August, 16. I'll say 16. 16 August, whatever. Well, whatever the case may be. I'm just making that up. Bam. Well, guess what? Then that means you still start, you could have paid the fine already, but you still serve your suspension. Your suspension ain't lifted until 16 August. Then 16 August roll around, he gonna come back, he gonna check, okay, bam. All right, this person is now disposition complete, and he will let that person know in Discord, your disposition is complete. you are now reinstated as a legal player. But that's how that works. That's how the communication works. You will know. I promise you will know. I promise you will know. You know what I'm saying? Now let me go on and here up and delete this before people think I done got suspended or some stuff. You know what I'm saying? I ain't do nothing wrong. I ain't mean no trouble. I ain't mean no harm at all. I'm gonna delete that. Go on ahead on delete this and yeah, delete my name from that. All right. So, all right. Okay, cool. Bam. So that's what that looks like. All right. Players who have been suspended by the league and have yet to serve their full suspension are also illegal. All right. Players who have yet to pay their fine are considered to be illegal players. So understand this adjudication. This goes to the GMs now. All right. Any violation of Rule 10 of Section 3 will result in punitive action from the president. The president can understand this. I'm talking to the GMs right now. GM, not the illegal player. I'm talking about if a GM is caught using an illegal player, here again, 50% fine, non-negotiable. Non-negotiable. You finna come up off that. You finna. All right. Test me you want to. Home course uniforms. Rule number 1. I definitely didn't keep this under an hour. All right. Rule number 1. Home uniforms. Home uniforms are required to have a bright appearance with bright colors. I didn't necessarily say white, even though white is best. I didn't say white, but it got to be really bright, right? As determined by our DIA, our Director of Internal Affairs. All home uniforms must be approved by the DIA prior to the start of the season. GMs must submit screenshots, right, to the DIA's channel and Discord server. Failure to comply will result in forfeits. Like, you will continue to forfeit games until you are approved by the DIA, your uniforms. Same thing with away uniforms, all right? All directors of the Bio Administration will hold the authority to adjudicate mandatory forfeits for all teams who violate any rule of Section 4 of the Bio Regulations without needing permission or clearance from the president. Any director who adjudicates such punitive action must annotate such action in the Bio Adjudication Tracker. No hearing is required for violations of Section 4 of the Bio Regulations. There is no hearing, right? Period. Like, I don't need to talk to anybody. Like, my administration has complete authority to just give you a forfeit if game day comes and your home uniform isn't approved, your away uniform isn't approved, or your gym standards aren't approved, or your court standards aren't approved. And so let's talk about the difference between these two. Okay, gym standards. All teams must post their logo, either TPC, VLA, or KLA, and the Too True logo on their court or walls that will be clearly visible during streams. You got to be able to see it. All right. All courts must be approved by the Director of Internal Affairs, the DIA, prior to the start of the season. GMs must submit their screenshots for approval to the DIA's channel of the Discord server. Failure to comply will result in a forfeit. All mandatory logos can be found under the gamer tag Scarecrow4_YT. Bam. All right. Vulgar displays. Rule number 4. Absolutely no vulgar or inappropriate words or images are authorized on the courts or walls for any team in any of the 3 leagues: private club, VLA, or KLA. Court standards, which is different than just gym standards, because gym standards is also talking about the walls. Court standards. Courts must be a shade of brown hardwood in the likeness of an NBA court. Color canvases are only allowed in the painted area and outer baseline, not on the inside. The painted area and outer baseline. All right. Right. So painted area could be like the free throw area, yes, but everything else needs to be brown, just like the NBA. All courts must be approved by the DIA prior to the start of the season. GMs must submit a screenshot for approval to the DIA's channel in the Discord server. Failure to comply will result in forfeits, bro. You'll keep forfeiting until you're done. All right, cool. Now, Section 5. We're almost to the end, man. We're almost to the end. Rule number 1 of Section 5, game time change request. Okay, check this out, y'all. So the league will mandate the day and time for each scheduled game. There's no such thing as GMs locking with each other anymore. That has gone completely out of the window. That doesn't exist anymore. If a GM knows, now remember, because I showed y'all this earlier, just show you one more time. So for instance, on August 1st, the Sovereign Rulers play the Black Pharaohs at 8 p.m. That is their time. That is the time they got to show up. Period. End of story. If one of them knows that they cannot make that time, they have to request to change that time. They want to change it from 8 to what, 10? That means they're gonna have to switch with these people down here. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. Because you got to understand, Diamond Lion is broadcasting all of these one by one. That's how that's going to work. So this is probably going to be the rule that y'all hate the most. Y'all think it's unfair. I don't know what to tell you. Like this is how we're going to conduct business. Okay, so how we're going to conduct business. Show up to your game time. Show up to your game time. I asked you in advance, were you going to be able to make games or whatever? As you were registering and as you were applying, was your team going to be able to make games between 7 o'clock and that 11 o'clock window? You said yes. Now, these times are now being prescribed to you in that window. Make your games. Okay, so a game time change request. The league will mandate the day and time for each scheduled game. If a GM knows their team cannot make a scheduled game time, they must submit a game time change request to the Department of Internal Affairs at least 48 hours before the start of their game. Their request must absolutely include their recommended start time and their opponent also has to agree to the recommended change as well, which reminds me, I didn't create a channel for that, for the DIA. I didn't even think about it until now. So I'm going to go ahead and do that in front of y'all right now. Let's go down to the DIA. Right here. Right. So we said this is a DIA responsibility, correct? Department of Internal Affairs. Yeah, which makes sense. That definitely makes sense. So I'm going to go ahead and do this now. Game time change. Wow. Change request. And the same thing for the private club, because the private club, every game in the private club is going to be at 9 o'clock. If you want it to be at another time, you need to let us know that. All right. So in the private club, bam. All right. That's done. That's where you're going to do that. Grace period. Rule number 2. By the way, all directors reserve the right to approve game time change requests. It doesn't necessarily have to be me. Any of my directors can do that. Any director who approves such will make that change on our official website. All right. It has to be within 48 hours, though. You cannot request a game time change request the day of. This is going to force GMs to be responsible and be proactive and think ahead in advance. All right. Other than that, make your game time. Grace period. All games have a grace period of 15 minutes after the scheduled game time. If any teams who fail to load into their scheduled game within 15 minutes of the grace period will forfeit their game with no stats to either team, obviously in the win going to the other team. There are absolutely no exceptions to this rule. Even if, and I mean this, if I can't tell nothing, I'm telling y'all, I know for a fact y'all gonna hate me for this. I'm telling y'all right now, I'm telling Diamond Lion to move on to the next game, right? Even if the team loads in on the 16th minute of the grace period, the game was supposed to start at 8. They load in and they're rated up at 8:16. I don't care. I'm telling you right now, I don't care. Like in the day, I'm telling you, it's going to happen. Someone is going to be like, oh, but you never told me. And I'm going to tell them, you know, how long we've been here? an hour and 26 minutes, I'm gonna say, hey, go back and watch my third presidential address and just fast forward to an hour and 26 minutes. Just fast forward to there or whatever and watch what I say. Because I'm telling you right now, I don't care. If on the 16th minute, I am telling my director of broadcasting to go ahead and move on to the next game. Inform the next two teams that they can start their games early. I'm not doing this. Show up on time to your scheduled games. Oh, and as a matter of fact, I talked about it over here. How the director of broadcasting is authorized to inform the next two teams on the schedule for that night to begin their game on the 16th minute of the forfeited grace period. Rule number 3. Game day switch requests. Now, this is a little bit more intricate, okay? If a GM knows their team cannot make a scheduled game day, so it's not even just they can't make the time, they have some life circumstances, and I get it, life happens, right? They must submit a game day switch request to the Department of Internal Affairs at least 48 hours before the start of the game. Their request must absolutely include their recommended date switch, and their opponent has to agree. Their opponent has to agree to the recommended switch as well. Lastly, the two teams who will have to switch to this game day, must also agree to switch for the switch to be approved. Now, so that means there's 4 different teams that got to agree to this. So there's a lot of coordination that has to happen between 4 different GMs. Think about it. You got the GM who needs to switch. You got the GM that he was playing against. Then you got 2 other GMs who were good with the schedule, but they also have to agree, okay, if you want us to take your game slot on that day and you take our game slot on this day, fine. Got it, fine. You can have our game slot on this day and we'll play 2 games. We'll play 2 games that day or whatever, right? But those other two GMs have to agree to it. If they don't announce that, yeah, we're going to switch to that time and that period, yeah, the answer is no. Period. The answer is no. And which reminds me, y'all know what time it is. Y'all already know what I forgot to do. And I'm finna do it right here in front of y'all. Then knock it out. Game day switch requests. And the same thing in the private club. I wish this didn't want so what's the word? Oh, I'm definitely tripping. Yeah, I'm clearly tired. It has been a day. Game day switch requests. All right. Listen, got it. Only the president, only me. So I'm the only one. I'm telling you, I am the only person that can approve a game day switch request because they're so complex. I need to be involved in that. The DIA must inform the president. Of the request at least 24 hours in advance of the scheduled game, and the president, must make a decision no later than noon of the day of the scheduled game. I owe you that. I owe you a decision up front. Okay, I owe you that. Rule 4, Section 5, save or boost. Players are now listen. This is apparently this is a thing where if you're in a private matchup, right? You know, you're playing in a league game. Last, a couple seconds of the game, and you quit out of that game. Just you quit out or whatever. Like one of the players quit out. If they do that, they quit out. Then they essentially save the boost. That boost isn't registered. Right, so they save all the boosts associated with their account because they quit out or whatever. That's a practice. It's actually a common practice or whatever. That said, I don't normally do that. Actually, as a matter of fact, I never do that. But we are allowing that. It's the bottom line. We're allowing it. So, but understand that there comes some stipulations there statistically. All right, players are authorized to quit in the final 15 seconds of a pro-am match to save boosts as long. And I say 15 seconds. It really don't matter when you quit. You can quit in the final 2 minutes if you want to. Just understand that your AI is going to finish it out. So I'll change this to final moments. I won't say final 15 seconds. There was really no purpose of putting a number to that. So players are authorized to quit in the final moments of a Pro Am League match to save boosts as long as the scorer has clearly determined a winner and the final box score is still captured and submitted to the director of statistics. In the event you close the game application to save boosts too early, and their AI starts missing shots or just playing poorly after they leave, the league will still count the final stats from the final box score, and there are no exceptions to that policy. So if you went 8 for 8 or whatever, and then you quit out too early, and in the final score you were 8 for 10, and your percentage went down, oh well. I'm telling you right now, don't even ask my sister to make any type of chat. Like, oh, well, really? Hey, Charlie Roberts really like 8 for 8 that game? Nah, G. Nah. I'm telling you right now that my answer is no. Don't even ask her because my answer is no. So the director of statistics will only use the stats from the final box score of all games and will not attempt to compensate statistics. That's a tongue twister for players who put out early. Bam. Rule 5, forfeits. All forfeited games will only count in the win-loss column for official records, but will not count for stats. Understand that, right? So once a forfeit is adjudicated or someone actually does have to forfeit, whatever the case may be, right? Nobody's getting any stats for it, period. The game is not even going to be played. And even if the game was played and I wind up adjudicating a forfeit later, right, as a punishment, all those stats go out the window, and only thing that's recorded at that point is the win or the loss, period. So understand it. So the DOS will and let me show y'all what that looks like. Let me show y'all what that looks like, right? So y'all see how, I said she's able to do this. She could just go here, skip the stat screen, and just go straight to edit game details and mark forfeit, a home forfeit or away forfeit. And as soon as she does it, she updates the game, clicks that, and it's automatic forfeit, no stats recorded. And it just goes to the record. So she has the opportunity to do that as well. Actually, it makes her job easier. Bam. So the DOS will only mark a game as forfeit away or forfeit home. The DOS will not attempt to input any stats for a forfeited game, even if the game was actually played. All right. In the event the president adjudicates punitive action that results in the forfeit of a game that has already been played, the DOS will erase all stats from that game for both teams, and the DOS will mark that game as a forfeit. Bam. Moving on. Rule 6, box score submission. Here we go. All right. Only winning GMs are responsible for sending box score screenshots of completed games to the Department of Statistics. Only using the PS app screenshot, phone picture. Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. Yes. So pretty much winning GMs submit this only using the PS app, the PlayStation app. The screenshot from the PlayStation, that's it. Phone pictures are not authorized whatsoever. I done told y'all this one time. Submission of the screenshot must be submitted no later than midnight of the day the game was played. I prefer you just submit that thing right away, but no later than midnight. All right. Do not have her waiting all night for you to submit a doggone screenshot when we're trying to keep these stats updated for the league on a daily basis. Don't have my sister waiting all night for you. Just submit the doggone screenshot on time. Failure to comply will result in punitive action. The DOS must inform the DOI if they believe a screenshot has been submitted improperly or not submitted at all. I'm gonna say that again. Both are subject to punitive action. Not submitting a screenshot at all, or submitting it but doing it improperly. Here again, trying to take a picture with your phone. I'm telling you right now, it ain't flying. Right? She has to let me know if she catches somebody doing that. The president withholds the authority to fine the violating GM up to 15% of their entry fee for a violation of Rule 6, Section 5 of the Bio Regulations. The president also withholds the right to mandate a forfeit to the winning GM who fails to submit an appropriate box score by midnight of the day the game is played. How about those apples? Telling you, there's going to be a lot of teams on the losing end of games this year who are going to wind up catching some dubs, incidentally, because the winning GMs weren't disciplined enough to follow the rules and submit their stuff on time. I know for a fact it's going to happen. It is what it is. It is what it is. Discrimination and trolling. Okay, so section 6, last section. Discrimination and trolling. The Bio Administration will enforce a zero tolerance policy for discriminatory language of any sort as determined by the Bio Administration. Threats and overzealous trolling as determined by the Bio Administration are also prohibited. While healthy trash talk that remains 2K, related to 2K, is acceptable, personal attacks toward players regarding their personal lives, including but not limited to financial status. Financial status is a big one. 2K players love to tell each other how broke they are, right? Family members, education, career, or any other personal endeavors is strictly prohibited. I'm gonna tell you right now, a violation of this rule will result. There's no maybe possible. I might grant you discretion. I might go easy on you. I'm gonna tell you right now, anything section 6 related, you can just go ahead and assume if you show up in front of my computer screen or whatever in a hearing because of a section 6 violation, oh yeah, you getting the max. You're getting the max. It really don't matter what you say. I still got to read that prompt and let you know I have not yet made a decision. I ain't gonna lie to you. I made that decision. That decision made. That decision is made. Made. So, yeah. You violate this one, it's subject to a fine of up to 100% of your entry fee. Okay, that's the first thing. And a suspension for the remainder of the season. I'm dead serious. Don't try me. Please don't try me. Do not try me. Don't try me. Don't do it. Rule 2, profanity. Y'all gonna hate this one. I'm gonna be honest, out of all the rules here, this gonna be the one that's the hardest for all y'all. All right, vulgar language and profanity is prohibited in all bio platforms to include but not limited to Discord, YouTube, and our 2K League websites. Period. No profanity. Not the N-word, even though that's technically not profanity. We're cleaning up all our internal platforms starting tomorrow, starting on the 27th. I keep looking at my wrist like there's a watch there. It's on the charger. Any violation of Section 6, Rule 2 will result in punitive action. All right. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be straight up. Yeah, you're not gonna get 100%, entry fee. But yeah, every time you use a cuss word and you are caught by someone on my administration, right? You're caught and reported. Oh yeah, you finna come see me. You either gonna cough up 10% of your entry fee. Look, our league finna make a lot of doggone money. I'm telling you right now, we're gonna make a lot of money on our platforms based off of this rule right here. On everything, y'all finna make us rich. I'm telling you right now. And if you don't pay the fine, you ain't finna play no more. Don't cuss in the Discord. Starting tomorrow, just don't do it. Don't get caught cussing, bro. All right. And or a 1-game suspension. So I could choose to not find you and then just suspend you for a game. Or I could choose to do both. It says and or. So I can fine you 10% of your entry fee and give you a suspension, a 1-game suspension. All right. We're cleaning up our internal platforms, man. Number 3, banning and suspensions. Any action. Oh, here we go. Let's talk about player bannings. Any action or conduct that results in a player's account being banned by PlayStation is not condoned or supported by the Bio Administration. Let me make that clear. And to be honest with you, I'm not interested in trying to figure out the details of your specific case. That may sound selfish, bro. It's like 300, 400, 500 of y'all. I'm not about to try to figure out every individual case. Oh, my account got banned because of this. Or my account got banned because of that. And this wasn't even my fault. Hey, listen, look here. If your account is banned, you are banned. Period. All right. Player accounts that are banned by PlayStation are also banned by Bio. End of story. A player must serve their full banning suspension from PlayStation before returning to any of the 3 leagues any of the 3 bio leagues. Temporary accounts and account sharing are absolutely prohibited. Any violation of section 603 will result in punitive action. Skip all that and just get straight to the fine, right? Adjudication can be up to a 50% fine or the entry fee and or up to a 10-game suspension with forfeiture. Forfeiture of a game with no stats to either team if a player plays in a game on a different account, right? On a different account, they were banned, they do account sharing or whatever, they get caught, refer back to illegal players, because that's how I'm treating that. I'm treating it like it's an illegal player. And then last but not least, rule number 4, conduct unbecoming. Any other conduct unspecified. This is the catch-all rule. This is the rule that y'all really gonna hate, because it's the catch-all. It's unspecified. Any conduct whatsoever that's not specified in this regulation, in the bio regulations, that could still damage the image or reputation of the Biggest Impact organization or the Tutu brand, as determined by the bio administration, is categorized as an act unbecoming of a bio member. That means whether you're an administrator, a GM, a player, doesn't matter. That's conduct unbecoming. And any conduct deemed unbecoming of a bio member is subject to punitive action. My bad. Subject to punitive action by the president of the Biggest Impact organization. There is no limit to the type and amount of punishment the president is authorized to impose when administering punitive action for conduct unbecoming. Quite clear. That is the catch-all. There's no limit to the maximum punishment I can adjudicate in any disposition when it comes to conduct unbecoming. Choose your actions wisely. That's the bottom line. All right, that's the bottom line. So what I'll do now, because we've made a lot of edits to this, what I'll do now is I'll take this old one, right? This bio regulation. I'm gonna put this in the trash. Empty that. So, empty the trash. And what I'll do now is I'll export this to a new PDF, and I'll upload this to so PDF. I'm gonna upload this to our Discord server. I'm gonna do it in front of y'all before I close this out. We're already going 2 hours strong. I'm gonna do this in front of y'all and then close out. Hey, while I'm doing this, one last reminder: the one thing that wasn't covered in here yet, and I may wind up adding this to the bio regulations later on, right? Because it's clearly an Excel spreadsheet that we can add to. We just can't take away from. We can add to this document as need be. So if y'all have suggestions of things y'all think we missed, put it in the players' lounge and just kind of let us know what you think we missed. But all in all, yeah, export. One second, y'all. Just go ahead and take care of this right now. Regulations. All right, bio regulations. So what I'm gonna do right now, y'all, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna take right here the bio regulation. I just saw it. Bam, right there. All right, so what I'll do is I'll delete this one. Delete. And then I'll take this one here. Bam. And I'll do the same thing for the private club. All right, private club, y'all deserve this as well. It's our free league. All right, so I'll take this one. What time is it? Oh, wait, that was the private club. I'm tripping. Yeah, I'm definitely tripping. Yeah, okay, and same thing here. So delete. and then re-upload the new one, the new version. Bam. All right, y'all. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen. This has been the longest presidential address that y'all will ever get from me. But I had to get through it. I had to get through it, you know, like I said, to introduce bio, right? Who we are now underneath Too True, and to get everyone oriented with our brand new processes. There's a lot of, I got it, but like there was going to be a lot of questions that was kind of unanswered on what certain things look like. So, but now y'all know. If you do have any questions that I was unable to cover in less than these 2 hours, hit us up in the chat, right? And I'll put it out in our next announcements. You know, I'll put it in my personal notes. But that's pretty much it, man. Let's continue to move with meaning. Let's continue to be the biggest impact. All right. We're gonna have a lot of fun this season.